Hi everyone, welcome into this week's My Weekly CBS Fix. I hope you had a wonderful week. In this week's parsha, we have a double parsha, Matos and Masai. And in Matos-Masai, the Torah recounts for us how Aharon Hakohen passed away, and he died on Hor, Mount Hor. And the verse says, Vayal Aharon Hakohen al Hor. He died, Aaron went up to Hor, al pi Hashem, by the word of Hashem. And Raje, who was one of the great Torah leaders in Europe, Yeshiva of Slobodka, he asked, what does it mean that he went up according to the word of Hashem? And he answered that even though Aharon Hakohen knew that him going up this mountain meant his death, because he knew that's where he would die, he went up with the same enthusiasm for any other mitzvah that he was going to do. Why? Because it was the word of Hashem. Hashem actually asked him to do it, and therefore he did it with great enthusiasm. And when Moses brought him into the cave and he told him, lie down here on this bed that was there prepared for him, he did it fully. Why? Because it was a mitzvah of Hashem, and we know that he did it in honor of Hashem. He felt that he was doing a mitzvah. How do we know that he was doing a mitzvah? First of all, because he died while wearing the 8 priestly garments. Now, you only wear the 8 priestly garments when you're doing a mitzvah, and he was in full service of Hashem, the same way when he wore the 8 priestly garments when he was doing the full service in the temple or in the Mishkan. And another way is the garments themselves have the prohibition of wearing shatnez. Shatnez is the mixture of wool and linen together, which is forbidden for one to wear. And it's only permitted to wear if you're actually doing a mitzvah. So we see over here he was ready to fulfill this mitzvah. And so therefore, even though Aharon Hakohen knew there was great sadness that was ultimately going to be involved for him, he did it anyway because it was what Hashem wanted him to do, and he did it with great joy. Now, today we're in the days of the 3 weeks. We're in the period of the 3 weeks. The Shabbos, or Saturday night, is the period of the 9 days, which are even deeper days of mourning for us. And we're somewhat down, we're somewhat sad, we're somewhat not so in the mood. We're like in a downer state. We're a bunch of Debbie Downers. But we have to rip a page out of Aaron's book and say, one second, if he can climb up that mountain and know that he's going to die, and he did it with excitement and with happiness, and because it was what Hashem wanted, so too, even when we find ourselves in a sad time, we can approach this sad time actually with a certain happiness, because this is the will of Hashem. The will of Hashem is for us to concentrate more on the temple that lies in ruins. And it's a time for us to yearn for Mashiach and to want back what we once had. And we should do this with a happiness. We should do this with the realization that allows us time to actually contemplate and think about what's actually important to us and what we're missing out on. And how in a time of real happiness at a wedding, our happiness is not complete because Hashem's temple is not here. It's been destroyed. And so therefore, now that we can actually concentrate more on the fact that the temple is destroyed, we have to use this opportunity, seize this opportunity, and actually do it with a little bit more fervor, because Hashem would actually want us to do it with more excitement, because it's a mitzvah, it's a rabbinic mitzvah, but nevertheless, it was declared for generations that the 9th of the month of Av would be a sad day for us, and it is a sad day. But we're realizing now that even in sad times, we can find aspects of happiness to it, and if it's in the service of Hashem, we should do it with that inner happiness over here. Sometimes we have to have an external happiness, Purim, all the holidays. Here we have to have an internal happiness, like Aharon Hakohen. We have to be ready, prepared to do the will of Hashem, and whatever the mitzvah may be, even if we're down, try to find an inner happiness and know that you're doing the will of Hashem. That itself is a wonderful happiness. Thank you for listening. As always, have an amazing Shabbos.